Okay, go.
Prologue. Love. Love has many definitions. Never ending and always growing. Makes you have butterflies in your stomach. Creates faster beating in your heart. And might be the most amazing feeling in the world. However, when six perfectly normal high schoolers meet and get evolved into something known as a love hexagon, forms an opposite meaning to love. Trouble, no faith, and makes love even more complicated as we know it. As these teens enter into a love situation of disaster, they will learn the true meaning of love and heartbreak. My heart was pounding rapidly, so rapidly my heart hurt. He was my crush, and I knew it now. I felt no courage of asking him out, but my heart ached for him, so I knew it was finally time. I heard a faint voice, so I followed it. As I walked closer to it, I immediately recognized that sweet, calm voice. I saw he was in an empty room talking to my friend, so I decided to wait for him to be done with the conversation with her. I couldn't help but eavesdrop.
I know I like you. I knew we were destined. And I love you. And
As I heard those hurtful words, my heart's beating slowed down. Is that medically? I stared wide-eyed, shocked, and tears started to fill my eyes. I didn't dare to hear more. He didn't love me. He loved my best friend. I couldn't watch anymore, and ran away, heartbroken.
what?
Holly and I exclaimed in unison.
Yes, girls.
Mom stated.
We are moving. You know your father works in California and visits from here not often, so we can just move to California and be with him.
I protested. Mom, all our friends are here. We can't just move. And besides, why can't we at least finish the school year?
Don't make excuses, Molly. Family is more important than friends.
Well, said Mom.
But,
Holly began.
no buts.
Mom ordered.
We shall move next week. And since today is Friday, you can spend time with your friends tomorrow.
Before we could argue, I saw the school bus through the window. I grabbed my backpack and told Holly, let's go, or we'll be late. Holly already had her backpack, and we got into the bus. It's an important detail. I sighed as I saw my best friend Amanda smiling through the window and sitting in our usual seats together. She was sitting by herself together. I knew that it was going to be hard to break this news.
Molly, we're here.
Holly shouted in my ear. Geez, I know. I lied. I looked outside the bus window and saw the sign. California High School. Home of the Seagulls. I had a flashback of last week before someone yelled in my ear, and I suddenly missed Amanda. Life here was totally different. No grass, just mostly cement, except for the school, which was brick. It started getting stuffy in the bus as it halted to a stop. I rested my head on the window and I sighed. Hopefully I can meet Amanda again in the summer if I visit, or if even can visit. School bus door opened slowly, and the thin path between the seats instantly became filled with high schoolers trying to get out. Holly and I were elbowed and pushed, but finally made it out the bus. Holly, I'll see you later, I yelled while we were being separated by students walking in between us. Even though it was hard to spot Holly, I could see her waving, so I waved back while smiling. It took me a moment to realize everyone staring at me with confused looks on their faces. Probably because they never saw me. I smiled weakly and continued walking, but still felt intimidated. I nervously glanced at everyone and stopped walking. I shyly waved and started walking again, and this time stared at the floor, that is until I bumped into something hard. Sorry, I mumbled as I looked up to see who I bumped into. He was a tall, muscular boy with chocolate brown hair and dark, honey eyes. His brown hair, streaked with a lighter shade, dangled in front of his eyes. I was short, so he towered over me. He smiled at me and said,
Hey, Shorty.
I was immediately filled with anger and yelled, I'm not that short. You should watch where you're going,
Whoa, chill out, Shorty.
he teased, stepping back with his hands in front of him. I felt like steam was coming out of my ears, and I retorted, Well, pretty face, I think you have some issues. He glared at me and exclaimed,
Pretty face? Is that a compliment? I guess I do have a pretty face.
He smirked at me, and I answered, No, it's an insult, pretty face.
By the way,
By the way, pretty is meant for girls. Why did you separate that line of dialogue? Okay, wait, frick.
okay, Shorty, whatever you say.
He shrugged. I argued, I'm not short. I just said you were short. If you need some coaching on frick.
If you need some coaching on eye problems, I can help.
Well, if you need coaching on watching where you're going, I can help.
It's not my fault you were facing the floor the entire time.
How would you know that? Were you staring at me because I'm so beautiful? I asked with sarcasm as I fluttered my eyes.
Were you just flirting with me?
He questioned as he approached me, and I stepped back, knowing he would play with me like your average player does. I then decided to go along and model walk to him